This time of the week, UNA Chief Martin Griffiths said to visit Turkiye and Syria this weekend. He'll assess how the UN can boost its support amid the ongoing humanitarian tragedies in both countries. 2 earthquakes struck that region on Monday, and so far, more than 21,000 people have been confirmed dead. Many others are injured. Today marks day 5 of search operations to save those who are still trapped under the rubble. Part of our team in that country is Ahmed Kajee, who joins us now live from Hatay Stadium. And Ahmed, it's been devastating watching this death toll continue to skyrocket. It started at around 100 around this time on Monday, now at 21,000. How are the operations going?
Yes, indeed. Thanks very much. The place where we are right now in Hatay at the Hatay Stadium is around 800 to 900 kilometers from the epicenter at Kahraman and Meresh. That's where those 2 major earthquakes had struck on either side of the Turkish and Syrian border. We are also around 200 to 300 kilometers from Aleppo as well, so that just gives you a close proximity on exactly where we are based compared to Syria as well. In terms of operations from Gift of the Givers, it's been logistics from the time we had left Johannesburg. The major challenge around is just getting us over here. Traffic jams, unfortunately, yesterday to travel 200 kilometers. We traveled that in 8 hours. We left at 11 a.m. local time and only arrived around 7:30 or so. That was the difficulty many of the teams are facing over here. The rest of the Gift of the Givers teams from Johannesburg have arrived late last night into the early hours of this morning. They're expected to join a few of the other international teams, probably from the United Kingdom or from China, and probably make their first search and rescue efforts later today. That's some of the positive signs coming out of this week, and at least 4 or 5 days after the major earthquakes which had struck this area. This therefore means that when the rest of the Gift of the Givers and other rescue teams make their way in over the weekend, a clear foundation would have been found, there would be systems in place, and then it would be a well-oiled machine, something that we are used to seeing from the Gift of the Givers as well. As you will see behind me, a lot of the equipment has been laid out as they get ready and prepare themselves for the day ahead. This is the first time today that many of this equipment will be used as well to continue going out into the field and to start getting those search and rescue operations continued. One would hope that there is still a chance of search and rescue rather than search and recovery. We are beyond that 72-hour period where majority of the victims tend to be found alive. There is still good news coming out from other NGOs who are already out in the fields, both here in Adana as well, where we were yesterday, that people are still being rescued, which means people are still alive. It may be exceptionally cold as well, but that may actually help survivors under the rubble, as the slow weather normally lowers the metabolic rate, which results in people being able to survive, and the rescue workers just having a bit more time given the delays that we are facing on the ground over here. The sports stadium is severely compromised in terms of the structural integrity. There are visuals which you will be seeing on your screens in a few moments' time as well, and perhaps throughout the rest of the morning, on exactly the damage inside the stadium. But it is being used as a bit of a mobile church operating center for many of the NGOs to coordinate and then make their way through to different areas, and then to also just house a few of the survivors as well, to get them into some place secure, at least to get some shelter over them, give them some food, give them some blankets, and then perhaps a plan a way going forward. The AFAD is one of the organizations, or it is the main organization which is run by the state in terms of the disaster management. They will continue their operations in directing all the NGOs which are coming into the area and where they should be going. It's a massive task ahead for every organization, whether you be someone from Gift of the Givers, Hope SA, Al-Imdad, Aid from a South African point of view, and whether it be Doctors Without Borders, the United Nations, the White Helmets. From an international point of view, whoever will be coming in will have a major part to play in at least saving 1 life, 2 lives, or hundreds of lives, or thousands of lives. And unfortunately, the government will have a major impact, will have a lot to do in terms of trying to assist the tens of thousands who have been killed, the hundreds of thousands who have been displaced, and probably the millions who will be needing to start their lives all over again. Ayanda.
Absolutely. Ahmed Kajee, thanks very much indeed for that update. 4 degrees Celsius currently in parts of Turkey, and I imagine that in some ways is also complicating these search and recovery efforts. But for now, Ahmed Kajee, live just there from Turkey. Thanks very much indeed.